What's going on, YouTube? Time for another recap. Holy technical and Trump tweets and data and the dumps. Let's see what we got. So initially, early in this morning, I just posted in the Discord here. We're watching our simple over-unders, right? Like we always like to do on Fibonacci data. So data came in hot right here. We looked for the upside first. I was more lean to the upside, as I told Discord, up to 531.55 before we see any pullbacks. That would be the scan. That's what we talked about earlier. So as we seen it grow above, right, our entry right here at the 50 fib, we talked about it going up to here and then gone with the wind. Awesome. And then you see an intraday. This is a little small, actually. We'll cover it here in a second. But intraday, I just want to see. We can't even get it close. It just redoes it. We posted the golden pocket targets for the initial dump on the inflation data. So let's get into it. So this is what we looked like here. This is what we were playing on in what I just showed you guys on the drawing. We fibbed out the high-low here for the first data bit. And this is not the chart I want. There it is. All right. So this was the fibbed out chart. And here's what I had for my team. So the big green box, this is what I wanted to short into for the first part of the scalp. We pushed up into here and this little area from a no tag breakout, which means no GP tags. See this big old candle right here? It's the 5-minute opening range breakout candle. And if you notice, you fib this out to the high low as well. We got the minute on here, but we like to do this right here. 5-minute opening range. First 5-minute candle, no golden pocket at all. No tags, right? And we talked about the live on stream right here, 531.55 to 531.78 for the short. We put a purple right here on that weekly saying our over-under. I use purple channels to watch for really big over-unders. So we had the green outlook, and then I later on drew on this chart here where we had the downside, right? And I drew this big red candle right here, and I said, this is our short entry. We took some shorts right here, and lo and behold, the data was much larger, and we did hold through this one. We have the top steps. We had a bunch of linked accounts today. We accidentally played through a little bit of that news on a couple, about $4,800 wins there. Plus some other wins, but it was a good day regardless. Now, this was the outlook for the no tag GP and no tag GP. What do I mean by that? It's double no tag. We just talked about the 5-minute opening range, fibbing out the high low, seeing zero center, fib out the data, right? That's another one where we did get GP, but there was a hidden candle. See this big green box I drew here? This little candle all by its lonesome is a no GP tag, and I said we would come back to the golden pocket of this one as well. We always look for Fibonacci retracement golden pockets in my channel and my group forever now. So this little 5-minute told the story, actually. So when I started looking into him, I went, okay, well, let's delete some of the other ones. Let's delete the big fib right here. We know where that is. Let's delete the I'll leave that. I'll leave the golden fib on for now. I need to know where that is. So this little dude right here with no GP tag, very similar to the opening 5-minute range, which I'm going to, I'll leave that on for now because we have a 2618 down there to talk about. This little guy was the hidden dude. So this little high-low created a no GP, and we had a no GP open, which means when we finally hit resistance, and we're not really touching big buttons until we hit real resistance, we went short. I was 100% short bias to pop into the weekly range. Where is that from? Well, if you watched Monday's video, you'd already have the level and you already knew the plan because that's just last week's high-low Fibonacci, my friends. Anything over 518.27 had a chance to come to 531.55. Very easy. So anything into the GP. Now, this is where we're going back to 510 here for the rejection, and well, we'll have to see what comes after that. But we have a lot of stuff to fill down on the bottom side, including gaps that we almost hit today. So how did we get our targets after the big jump, right? So I want to do this and clean this chart up. I'm not going to talk about where the target's going to go. We're going to come down to here tomorrow, and the next day here we can do really good. But let's clean this up a little bit and teach you guys from square one. So when you have the opening range get flushed like this, we usually put a lot of anchor VWAPs for trend direction. And anchor VWAPs, you just anchor a VWAP at a starting point of the top candle. Let me just show you on the top step here. So the anchor is right here on the NQ. Now you can notice, let's go to the 5 here, make sure these we can get redone. There we go. Actually had this one on data as well. Interesting. Okay, so we have the top candles that you want to see top downs on, right? So you put your top anchors in whatever price action you want to track. Obviously, we're tracking the top down from the big wash, so we're adding anchor VWAPs, and then we just have a big strain of things. Now, one thing to take in consideration here is that there were no tags on this. What does that mean? That means when this dropped off like here, and it started ripping it back down, we don't actually have any candles that run into these anchor VWAPs. Whenever price action started to get close, it actually washed without actually tagging, which means extreme weakness. We call that shying on the channel. It's when price action gets very close to a level you want to see it hit, but it just shies away and doesn't do it, right? We talk about that on moving averages, price levels, anchor VWAPs. It's just shying. I don't care what level you have on the screen, it shies it. It just doesn't tag, okay? So besides the anchor chase, we had some big downside moves. Now, you should always have on your golden pocket of yesterday. So let me clean this up one more time and just go into yesterday's candles, right? So remember, yesterday's candle and the big no tag GP, okay? So what I always like to do, regardless of the trade day, remember we stuck with these two on Monday. We talked about no GP down here, so that's obviously where it's going, and no GP up here, so that's obviously where it went all the way to the top. So we will end up down here, and that was the first initial call. We had a big old teal zone down here and said, yeah, we can come back down here and test this golden pocket range. We talked about it for 5 days straight. You know what I'm talking about, right? Check all the last videos. And then you need to go to the next ones that have no GP tags, which are the center, right? So we're going to do this one right here. This was yesterday's candle. Let's just do this one first. Just look how it worked out. This was the first leg, okay? High low of yesterday. That's it. That's it. So once it broke inside yesterday's highs, it goes to where? The GP, because that's the first tag. And of course, we had monster data that forced us through. So we knew that this is a big over-under level at yesterday's highs. Always is. Same old for us here. And it came into 529.79 for the push. We also had the data candle in the pre-market that pushed us over its golden pocket and flopped because we said it was going to hit those gold levels and top out right there. Okay, great. Now, the second one, right, because this came down and hit the golden pocket of yesterday. But what else did we see on the daily chart? We seen another daily candle that had no center tag. So if a wash magically appeared, we'd probably have a pretty good suspect target, right? Because the opportunity for a short, you're probably not going to get the short here to here without some kind of catastrophic news. This was just Michigan inflation data with a little bit of Trump tweet. This was not like, you know, gray swan, black swan, where we're going to start to see huge candles down there. But look at this guy. Look at this guy. Did you guys pick this up when you seen it? I'm sure you did. But remember, this is today's trade day. So this guy back here has a no GP tag. That's right. So when we made that call in Discord that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and I said this is where the short's going after I seen the weakness in the Michigan inflation data, we got that on a daily no tag. You can literally trade the markets with one indicator if you want to. If you're super patient, these things work out very, very cleanly. You just got to be very, very patient. So let's take a peek. So I drew these gray boxes in the Discord, right? And I said, all right, well, here's the bottom of the day right here. We're probably going to come down into that golden pocket since we had this wash, consolidation, wash into pocket, right? So we had that call in Discord. We put it into our journal notes. This is going to be a new section that I just opened up. So we're going to keep my group very informed on what we're looking for. Short targets for inflation data watch. No tag GP daily from February 3rd, right? So if that looks familiar to you right there, right? That's what we just drew out. So here's the inflation data. And here's where I said, okay, it's going to here. Okay. So that was our outlook. It's literally that simple. I wish it was harder, but it wasn't. This is a no golden pocket tag from February 3rd. So what does that mean? Well, you've seen yesterday's play out, and that was this golden pocket right here. That was yesterday. This is February 3rd. Not yesterday, right? Today's the 7th. Not 3rd. The hell I keep saying? Is it 5? I think I typed it wrong. 5. I put 3. It's the 5th. Don't mind me. So as we move into the 5th, not the 3rd because it's the 7th, so not the 6th, it's this guy right back down here. And that golden pocket was never tagged here. So Friday, obviously, Thursday, Wednesday. Notice Thursday never came down to the golden pocket yesterday. We broke into the candle range, right? Broke into yesterday's highs. So the highs broke in, but it ran away and said, no thanks. I'm going to scam up one more time. And then we got the breakaway so we could play the continuation. So we got the breakaway and inflation data, started right here. And I'm like, okay, now we're going to come down here, no problem. So we called another downside move from here to the GP center. for 12. So 120 points on the NQ. SPY, very similar. I'm very tired if you can't tell. Been up since about 2:15. Still going, no naps. Same exact thing. So, I thought that was my drawing. That was an actual bar. For the next one, we had the exact same thing here on SPY. And I just wanted to point out where that our last channel was. That was a big over under. We had the data pointed to the downside here as well. So that 1618 was there. But honestly, it would just pay attention to the big stuff that I tell you guys. Yesterday's high low and prior days that do not have golden pockets. They always work out clean. So we are going to focus this candle for next week. This is going to be a huge deal. 2, 3. Okay. We have another no GP tag down here where if we really start to get some speed now on this really awkward, I don't even know what you want to call this pattern, the never-ending rainbow, the never-ending because it never freaking completes. We'll come back down to most likely the gap here and this no tag. So what does that mean? Well, that's just what it says, really. We got all the GP tags right here. We created a monster candle, and we have a no GP tag right here. So for this day trade right here, again, nothing goes in a straight line. We can't just range out and create a candle like this. And man, well, that'd be fun, sure. But these right here are the no tags. So again, February... not 3rd, 5th, LOL, right? No tag. So let's look into that real fast on SPY just for an example. Here's yesterday. Sure got close to the golden pocket because GP is right here, right? 602.17, 600.8. And this came down super close. But today, once it washed out after the inflation data, right into the GP. So we had some really good calls today. All in all, I think we did $7,700 today across Top Step and some other accounts that we have going. And that is about it. That sums it up. It's a real small recap. We didn't really use much besides seeing the inflation data washed out and going pretty crazy. One of the other things actually that you could do here in scenarios like this where it creates, complete liquidity wipes, is to get in fibs on those candles as well. Because we have a beautiful algo range here from that data that pushed the upside and then came right to the downside, but we have nothing going up here, right? What I like to do is I like to fib out those first initial data moves too. And then you look for the over under and the GP tags. Same freaking thing we do on every candle because Fibonacci is not just an indicator. It's literally life itself. Okay. Study Fibonacci. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's not just numbers on a screen for a golden pocket. So as it comes down to the bottom here, it popped up. Notice golden pocket, right? 605.72, and then made its way down. And when you do these extensions to the downside like this, you could use literally one indicator. I would start shorting into the GP for extreme weakness. So it did the candle move. I'm like, okay, well, now we got to see where it ends. It makes the candle, closes. It ended here. We draw the fib from the high low. We see if it pops to the golden pocket and then continues, right? And then we look at shying, right? When stuff gets too close, it's extra fearful. That's a volume weighted average price for me in the purple dashed line. Shied it. Couldn't even get close to the 100 EMA, but we tagged the GP right here, so we had room to go. And look at the extensions from that candle's Fibonacci to the downside right here. That was the bottom of what it would have picked, 602.35. Not a bad roll because you would have been short into the GP area here, going for the 1618. That would have netted you 33, pretty much 34 points on ES. Massive, massive. Well, if you want to see me do this stuff live, I do it every single market trade day. We talk through these trades. We post pictures for entries and exits for best practices. And we talk about the psychology of the market every single day. We try to avoid news like the ones we got today and play accordingly after because only professional traders trade after news. We really got to stress that a lot. That's not a gamble we like to take. Just got really lucky today on that one because we, wasn't paying attention to the time, plain and simple. But you want to see this stuff done live. You want to see me break down algorithms. You want to see me break down Fibonacci's, all in good faith, all in the Discord and on live share. Links in the description. If not, you want to join in on the next YouTube live for free, please do. We see you then. Take care. Trade safe. Safe. Trade safe. Safe. I can't say the word. And stay curious, my friends. Please take care. It's nap time for me. Have a good weekend.